In this video, you're going to learn how to lead the song In Christ Alone by Passion with just you and an acoustic guitar. Coming up. Welcome to Advanced Worship Guitar Tutorials. My name is Spencer Cormany from leadingworshipwell.com, and in this video we're taking a look at the song In Christ Alone by Passion. If you haven't checked out the cover that I put out of this song yet, you can check it out right here so you know what arrangement you're going to be learning in this video. But other than that, let's get into it. Here we are in the intro of the song, and I think that this is the hardest part of the song because it's a little finger-style piece where we're mimicking what the piano plays at the beginning of the song. So I'll put the tab up right here. We're going to be essentially playing a D chord, a G chord, a B minor chord, and then a G again. So those are the chords that we're playing, but the tab right here will show you what other notes we're playing. So I'll try to play it slowly. You can pause this and rewatch it as many times as you want. I won't judge you because this is kind of a hard part. This is also, like, in my mind, a free-flowing part, so I'm not locked into the tempo yet. At this point, it's kind of preparing the congregation to get ready to sing. So keep that in mind as you're playing. It doesn't have to be, like, perfectly da-da-dum-da-dum-da-dum-da-dum, you know. Just have fun with it. So this is what it sounds like. So you can play that once or twice. I'll play it again one more time slowly so you can get the feel of it again. Into verse number 1. Here we are in verse number 1, and we're going to be pushing the chords up pretty high on the neck because we want to have room to grow dynamically over the song. So I'll show you the chords that we're going to be playing here because they move pretty quick. So I'll break them down first here. So we're playing a D, like that, and then a B minor, and then stretch to the A, D over F sharp, to a G. So the whole time, pretty much, you're keeping your fingers on the 7th fret of the G string and the 10th fret of the B string, except for the A chord. You gotta move your pointer finger down to the 6th fret of the G string. But altogether, it sounds like this. In Christ alone, my hope is found. He's my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. Into the chorus. Here we are in the chorus / second half of verse number 1, however you want to look at it. I call it the chorus, but we're going to be playing the same chords that we just played, just in a slightly different order. So the chords will be right here. I'll play it kind of slowly. Follow along with the chords there. It sounds like this. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are still, when striving cease, my comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ, I'll stand. Into the instrumental. Here we are in the instrumental, and I'll show you the chords first, and then I'll show you the lead line that we're playing on top of it. So the chords look like this. We're playing a D to a G to a B minor, back to a G. But on top of that, there's sort of this cool electric part that I didn't want to neglect, so I added it in here. By itself, it sounds something like this. Something like that. They've got delay on it, I think, but I added that into these chords, so the tab for that will be right here. It sounds like this, and this is the whoa part. So whoa, 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 into verse number 2. Here we are in verse number 2. We're going to switch down to pretty much standard chords because we're trying to amp up the song a little bit here, and you're really going to see that once I switch the chord shapes in the second half of verse 2. We're going to be playing a G down here, just want to prepare you in advance, to a D, to a B minor, to an A. So watch out for those chords in the second half of verse number 2. Altogether, verse number 2 sounds like this. There in the ground his body lay, the light of the world by darkness slain, then bursting forth in glorious day, up from the grave he rose again. Into chorus number 2. Here we are in chorus number 2, and we're going to be playing big chords here because this is a pretty loud chorus. So we're playing standard chord shapes, probably ones that you already know. They'll be right here, so follow along as I play it. It sounds like this. And as he stands in victory, since curse has lost its grip on me, for I am his and he is mine, bought with the precious blood of Christ. Whoa, 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 whoa. Into that instrumental, and then we'll go into verse number 3. Here we are in verse number 3, and verse number 3 is kind of a combination of verse number 1 and verse number 2 because the first half is pretty quiet, but then we build it up a lot in the second half. So we're going to be using chords from the first verse, which are up here, and then chords from the second verse, which are down here. So pay attention to that, watch for the transition. Altogether, it sounds like this. No guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to final breath, Jesus commands my destiny. Chorus. Into the chorus. Here we are in the chorus, pretty much the same as the second chorus that we just played through. It sounds like this. No power of hell, no scheme of man could ever pluck me from his hand till he returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I'll stand. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back into the whoa parts until we get into the bridge. Here we are in the bridge. We just came out of the whoa parts and like jumped the octave on that last whoa, 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 whoa. You know how it sounds. I don't feel like screaming right now, so this song's at the top of my range, so I probably won't sing at the top of my range for the bridge either. But the chords for the bridge look like this. They move kind of fast, so I want to slow them down for you. We start with this D, and then we add this D over F sharp in between each of these chords. So just always add that D sharp. Pay attention to that, and then the chords change a little bit in the second half of the bridge, but they're standard chords. So altogether, the bridge sounds like this. I find my strength, I find my hope, I find my help in Christ alone. When fear assails, when darkness falls, I find my peace in Christ alone. I give my life, I give my all, I sing my song to Christ alone. The King of Kings, the Lord of all heaven sings to Christ alone. Back into that instrumental part. So that's what the bridge sounds like if you sing it poorly. Let's head into the final chorus. Here we are in the final chorus, and this is once again quiet, so we're going to be back up here to these chords that I showed you at the beginning of the song. We're coming out of the whoa-whoa part and just singing till he returns or calls me home. Sounds like this. Till he returns or calls me home, here in the power of Christ I'll stand. Till he returns or calls me home, here in the power of Christ we stand. And that's the song. Congratulations, you just learned how to lead the song In Christ Alone by Passion or the Gettys, or whoever you want to say it's by. I know the Gettys wrote it, but this is the Passion version. So thanks so much for watching. If you don't know who I am, my name's Spencer Cormany from leadingworshipwell.com. I post practical worship leading tips every single day. If you want to find those, you can head over to my website, leadingworshipwell.com, or follow me on Instagram or Facebook at leadingworshipwell. I'd love to connect with you there. You're here on YouTube, though. I post guitar tutorial videos like this every single week, and I also post worship tip videos, worship leading tip videos every single week. So if you don't want to miss out on those videos, make sure you hit subscribe down below. Maybe hit the like button so I know to keep making more of these videos. But other than that, until I see you next time, keep leading worship well.